Going on, guys? Off the Ice here, and today we are here for episode number 1 of this Quebec Nordiques franchise mode in NHL 26. And in today's episode, we'll just be doing all the boring stuff prior to starting the sim of season 1. Not technically boring because we still got a draft in the expansion draft, so um, pretty cool, I guess. So before we get started, I'm just gonna explain some rules that I give to myself to make this franchise more fun and more realistic. So for the expansion draft, I'm gonna try to be as realistic as possible. If Makar is available for some reason or McDavid, I'm just gonna try to be realistic. Like, would this guy be available? Is there a chance he would be? And all of that. Um, and then trading wise, I put the difficulty at hard, and I created one rule for myself. So I can only trade for things that are on the block or things that I can find a trade for. So if I see like McDavid is on the block, but I can find a trade for him and like actually get offers, that means he's not untouchable per se. So that's basically what I do, and I only give up stuff that they are interested in. Okay, assets that are interested in. Sometimes I make exceptions. If example they want a third round pick next year, but they don't want one this year or the year after that. Like sometimes I make exceptions of some of that sort, but when I make a trade, I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. So would this trade be realistic in real life? Would they potentially say yes? Stuff like that. So pretty simple. Um, so yeah, as I said, we're gonna do expansion draft in this episode, and then every other episode, it's gonna be like for episode 1, I'm gonna sim first season and do the free agency and the draft in the same episode too. So it's gonna be kind of like what Tactics is doing, a full season. So, all right, so let's get started. So here, guys, don't get mad at me if you see someone good and I don't take him. I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. So, yeah. All right, so we're gonna be picking number 4. Um, it's not bad. Detroit from 13 to 3 is kind of screwing us. Um, we'll start the expansion draft, and we'll go over the draft afterwards. So, all right, let's start with Anaheim. So, I always look by potential. So, Zellweger is available. Don't think he would be in real life. They definitely get assets for him. So we can take the Killorn or Truba potentially, or honestly here they don't really have nothing potential wise. Drew Hellison could be a solid bottom pairing DFD. I think as of now I could make him my pick. Can always come back on those picks. So Boston now. Zadorov, Zaka, no chance. Corrali maybe, but I don't really like him. Andrew Peak. Lucas Reichel is an interesting option. I top 981 overall at 23. Could definitely become a solid third liner or maybe elite fourth liner. He's got solid speed. As of right now, he's definitely my pick. Lysell, not as much of a ceiling. Maybe slightly higher ceiling, I guess, but Reichel is a much higher floor and he's safe. He's NHL ready. I'll definitely take Reichel here on Boston. Lucas Reichel. Um, Buffalo. So you got Zucker, Kesselring, Samuelson. Probably wouldn't be available. Greenway, Pearson, Logan Stanley, Luke Shan, Sam Carrick, Malenstein, Danford. Payne Krebs. Payne Krebs, power forward. I mean, could be interesting, If this team is weak, he could technically be on the second line. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Alex Lyon is definitely low rated. I'm going to have to upgrade him next time. I think for now, I'm going to go Payne Krebs just for the upside. Could become an elite third liner, you never know. Might change the pick afterwards. All right, the Flames are next. So Backlund, Holofsen, I don't really like that. Farabee could be decent, but that cap hit is a little heavy. Although we kind of need to get to the cap floor. Pospisil, I don't think he would be. John Beecher could be a solid fourth line center. He's very solid in the faceoff. Actually, really like him. I'm trying to get players that I haven't had in the past too. So I'm gonna take Beecher. By the way, if you hear my chair in the background, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to get a better chair soon. All right, so Carolina, Keandre Miller, no chance. Sveshnikov, no chance. Gostisbehere, at that cap hit on a contending team, they probably would not let him be available. Kakaniemi could be solid. We kind of do him a favor by taking that contract, but he could potentially become something for us, Kochetkov in net. I don't think they would protect Freddie over him, so I'm going to take Kakaniemi here. See if we can develop him into the player he was supposed to become. Well, maybe not as good, but you know, something decent at least. Soderblom could be a solid backup goalie. Kaiser could be a decent bottom pairing guy. I kind of usually like Soderblom in this game, so we'll take him for now. Can always come back on the pick, as I said before. Brent Burns for Colorado now. Nick Roy, no. Nick Roy, I should say. Manson, Lehkonen, no. O'Connor, no chance. Colton, no chance. Kulak, they just paid a hefty price for him. Jury, probably not. Parker Kelly, fourth line grinder. He's solid defensively. Gushin, goalie wise, Wedgwood or Minner. I mean, Parker Kelly is on a very solid extension. I mean, as a grinder, I don't really like his stats, but I feel like at that price, at that contract, he could have some good trade value. Could always send him on another team. I don't think I'm going to use him, but I think he could have solid trade value. If not, I mean, whatever. I'm going to get a 5th round pick for him, worst case scenario. All right, Columbus. Boone Jenner, no. Marchment, no. Dentinainen would probably be available realistically. Zamula, they just signed, but yeah, probably. Miles Wood, they probably, but I don't want him. Lindstrom. Lindstrom is solid defensively, not bad offensively. As a 4th liner, maybe. Potential wise, Spossel usually has solid trade value. 75 at 22, medium top 4. That guy could fetch me a 3rd round pick if I decide to trade him. So, an early 3rd round pick. Let's take him. All right, on Dallas now. Jamie Benn, no chance. Harley, no chance. And even at that contract, I wouldn't take him. Lindell, Steele, Bunting, they just traded for him. Oscar Bach. Nils Lundqvist? Maybe. I'll think about it. Borg. I would love to take him because he's a Quebecer, but I don't think they would let him be available. They would definitely protect him. I think here the smart pick would be Nils Lundqvist, or Lundqvist, whatever his name. Whatever you guys want to pronounce it. Sure, Poirier would. I mean, Poirier wouldn't be interesting really. Tuamala maybe for trade value, but I think I'll go Nils. I kind of want to take those guys that kind of busted in real life, you know. Try to give them a career, even if it's not necessarily with me, you know. Develop them. If you gotta trade them after 2 years, you know, they can still do good on another team. Sorry. Okay, so Red Wings, you could have Kosa, but at the same time, they did protect Gibson, but in real life, I think they would find a way to keep Kosa and protect him or something. So I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt there. Falk, no. Perron, maybe at that age, but again, I don't necessarily want him. Kind of want to build for the future. Albert Johansson, just because they have a lot of defensemen, I think there could be a chance. William Wallander, I think is maybe more realistic, but I don't know if I necessarily want him. Bernard Docker could be solid too, but they just re-signed him in real life, so I'll just let him there. I think I'm gonna take Wallander. I think it's more realistic. All right, we're on Edmonton now. Savoy, definitely not. Might be time to upgrade him on my roster, do him again. Feel like he's a little low. But Cozen could be interesting. I don't think they would leave him available though. Dickinson, no. Janmark, probably. Frederick, definitely with that contract. Kapanen, probably. Ekholm, no. Murphy, no. Wallman, no. Ty Anderson, no. Poulin. What about goalie wise? Ingram, nah. I couldn't help them take that Frederick contract. Or I go for a more safe, I guess for a safer pick. I think I'll, honestly, I could definitely take a chance at Frederick, you know, looking back. He had 40 points a couple years ago. Maybe it's just not a good fit on Edmonton. At that age, he's still young enough, could develop him. Or at least get his trade value up, maybe. Alright, Florida. Samiskevich, Lusterinen, no way. Rodriguez, no way. Cunnin, Bjornfort, Mikola, Gregor, Noah Gregor. Sabrango, Tarasov, Brendan Bussey. I don't know why he's on the Panthers. That's a glitch. Whatever. Honestly, I might just do a boring pick here and take like a Boquist or I don't know. Cunnin maybe. Luke Cunnin is usually decent in this game. I think I'll come back to the Panthers though. I think we'll go to LA now. Dowdy, no chance. Armia, no chance. Mathieu Joseph, probably, but he shouldn't be this high rated. He's kind of inflated, but I'll leave him there just because of that. Considering the fact that he's 84, they would definitely qualify him. Kuzmenko, I think, would probably be available. Scott Lawn, probably not. Dumoulin, CC, Turcotte. Turcotte, I usually take him quite a bit, so I kind of want to go for something different. I think I'll take Kuzmenko. Try to get him back to what he was with Vancouver. Or Minnesota's next. Bobby Brink, no chance. They just paid a pretty FT price for him. The Foligno brothers, no. Trennan, maybe Fabry, probably. Holison. Wallstead, no chance. They would leave Gustafson available for sure. Robbie Fabry, I mean, he's got solid stats. Probably a little weaker on the physical stats, but he's not bad. If not Hollis, I think I'll take Fabry. Worst case scenario, you trade him. Alright, for now, I'll just take I kind of like Sabrango. Usually develops into about. I think I'll take Sabrango here for the Panthers actually. For now at least. Montreal. And this is my specialty. I'm a Habs fan, so I know exactly how it is. By the way, this is my roster that I created with my friend Nick. Go follow him on YouTube. So basically, we just went over the stats on Hockey Reference, and you know, we just did literally the player cards, realistic, what their stats should be and everything. So there's some guys that are a little inflated just because the way the ratings work in this game is kind of broken. But whenever guys are a little inflated, kind of like Jack-Eye, he should probably be more like 82, 83, but his physical stats are really carrying it up. I just give them lower potential, so basically that's how we did it. By the way, yeah, my friend Nick, I said go follow him. He's on TikTok, YouTube. He's on other socials, I'm pretty sure. Inside Hockey with Nikitos. So go follow him there. So all right, let's see Montreal. Josh Anderson, Harvard Jack-Eye. Probably not. Doc, no. Newhook, no. Especially how good he's been for Montreal in these playoffs in real life. It's been insane. Texier, no. Carrier, no. They like him so much. Veleno could be solid. I think Veleno could be solid. He would definitely be available because they can't protect everyone. Owen Beck, no. Juan, no. Del Gaizo, I mean, yeah, but he's ass. Technically, you could potentially develop Mayshar into something. He's got solid stats. He's got good speed. I mean, I feel like I would like taking a Mayshar here. I don't know. I don't know if I believe in him developing, but honestly, it would take a chance. It's not like Veleno is something insane, Nashville now. Justin Barron, Wiesblatt. Wiesblatt's got solid stats. I think as a forward liner, I would actually like him quite a bit. He's pretty decent physically. I think Wiesblatt as a forward liner, he's still young. I think that makes sense. New Jersey, Doug Hamilton, Pesci, no. Nason, no. Brown, Bukestad. He's a little high rated as well. But, nah. Villain could have trade value. Meet him top 4, 71 and 22. Probably worth around a third-ish. Let's take him. Going for trade value here. We're literally not even rebuilding. We're building. Okay, the Islanders. Braden Shen, no way. Lee, no way. Palmieri, no way. D'Angelo, maybe. Heineman, no way. He's another guy. He should probably be slightly higher rated, but it's okay. We did the rosters prior to the start of this year, so. Varlamov. If I don't know what to pick, he's a safe pick. A guy you can use as a starter or backup to develop your other guys, depending. Adam Boquist, no. I mean, D'Angelo's a right D in the WFD, you know. I mean, I feel like he could be a solid pickup. If he can play good minutes for us, heavy minutes, he might, you know, with his offensive stats, he could get a lot of points and have good growth. All right, so the Rangers. Sakura could have solid trade value, and as a two-way, he could even become a solid bottom sixer potentially. His passing, his puck control is low for some reason, but worst case scenario, he's good trade value. Berard, Brisson, Braden Schneider, no way. Parsonen, Ty Cartier, Matt Rempe, no discipline, Jesus. You see, like, he's a little high rated because of his physical, but, you know, that's why I made him an enforcer, so he's not going to sim well. Ty Cartier is usually solid, but they just picked him up. I think here I'll take Sakura. Ottawa's next. Pinto, no way. Zetterlund, no way. Borgo, probably, but he's not nothing crazy. If we have to sort by overall, yeah, Fogel, no way. No. Amadio, Lars Heller, Nick Jensen, Nick Cousins. Kaliev, I mean, Kaliev, if we need a top 6 sniper, I mean, you never know. Marilainen, I mean, could become a solid. I think I'm going to go Marilainen here, actually. 80 at 22, I mean, he would be available because you have to protect Hallmark no matter what. All right, Philly, Cam York, depending. Emil Andre, maybe. Gannett. I don't think Cam York would be available, so I think the safe pick here is Andre. Dvorak has been too good for them. They just signed him to an extension anyways. Yeah, let's go Andre. Pittsburgh is next. Anthony Manta, no. Witherspoon, no. Clifton, no. I mean, Clifton would be available, but I don't really want him. Ryan Graves, Brazo, A's, Achari, Soderblom? Helmer Soderblom? They just picked him up. He's been really good for Pittsburgh, but at the same time, you can't protect everyone. Pickering, no way. Alexeyev, yeah. Shilovs and Blomqvist. I already picked up a goalie. I think here we'll go Soderblom. San Jose is next. Barclay Goodrow. Muga Muldoon, no way. Martin Kaut, he still exists? Damn. Ryan Reeves, nah. There's not much on San Jose because they're very young still. I think here we'll just take an AHL or something, pretty much. I mean, Barclay Goodrow could be a bottom sixer. I mean, he would be available realistically. He's not on a good contract, and honestly, yeah, I take Barclay Goodrow. You know, you still need some NHLers in there. You can't just tank fully, or you at least need some guys to develop around. You know, Jake Neighbors is a low elite. Interesting. I don't remember making him low elite, but it's okay. Jonathan Drouin. Drouin could definitely revamp his career here, and I think that could be realistic. Trepchenko, Tucker, no Berggren, but again, I took him quite a bit. I haven't had Drouin in a while, and he's from Quebec, so I mean he's the province, but yeah. All right, Tampa, McDonough, no. Radish, no way. Moser, no way. Bjorkstrand, probably in real life, but based on that rating, no. Holmberg is a solid bottom sixer usually. He's got solid stats, but he's been good for Tampa, so I kind of don't know. Corey Perry's a good veteran. Gonsalves, no. Jacob Pelche as a Quebecer, I mean, you could develop him in the bottom sixer. I'll take Pelche, actually. I like Pelche. I've met him in real life, too, so I got to take him just for that. Toronto, Michele, nah. Yarncroc, Joshua, Simon Benoit. Meh. Topi Namela could be a good trade bait. I mean, in net, I think they would protect Wall over Stolars, so no. Hildeby, if you want to have a AHL goalie, maybe, you know, in case you want a future backup, in case Marilainen don't work. I think I'll take Namela. Safe bet for a trade value. He's a little safer. I can always come back on the pick. All right, Utah is next. McBain, no. Tanev, no. Kerfoot, Carconi, Perunovic, Marino, Cole, Schmidt, Yamamoto, Curtis Douglas, even though he's on Vancouver now. The roster kind of glitches sometimes. Yamamoto is solid usually. If not, he can be an elite AHLer. Maybe, yeah. I think I'll take Yamamoto here. He's like the only realistic choice. Vancouver. Aturatu. You would have trade value. I don't think they would do that. Evander Kane, no. O'Connor, no. Forward, maybe, but I don't want him. Linus Carlson is on a solid extension. They believe in him, so I'll just leave him there. Archie Baines, no. Klimovich, no. That Jack Thompson. Yeah, but I kind of don't want him. Do I have anything goalie-wise? Demko. I don't see anything that's really interesting to me, so I might just go for an AHL or something in Archdeep Baines or something. Vegas, Rasmus Anderson, no chance. McNabb, no way. By the way, some contracts might look weird is because we had to make teams cap compliant, so don't bother. So I see Alexander Holtz, another guy you could play in your top six. Kind of hasn't had a career. I think that could make sense. He's still young enough. Could become a solid second liner. You never know. Okay, so Washington. Sordiff is definitely low rated, but I mean, I don't think he would be available realistically. Cherniyev, power forward. He's got solid stats. 75 at 23, low 6. I don't think he's going to develop into much, but if you don't know what to take, I mean, he's a safe pick. He could be a top 6 in our AHL, honestly, and then with that potential, you never know if he has a really good AHL season, could develop. So, gonna have what, too many? Wouldn't have enough goalie. What if I take Hill to be here instead of Nemela? Would I be able to take Cherniyev? I gotta remove. What about Yamamoto? What if I just take a random ass defenseman here? Sorry, because I kind of want Cherniyev. I mean, realistically, I feel like Perunovic could be available, but at the same time, not really. Desimone. Let's just take this guy, Desimone. On Cherniyev, and then let's just see what we can do here for the Jets. Perfetti, no chance. Lambert, no. Rosen, no. Fajemo. So I have to take a defenseman here, right? So we'll just go here. Isaac Phillips. Billy Ainola. Ainola hasn't had the career he should have. I think he would be available, but I might just trade him. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for our expansion draft. So I think that was a solid expansion draft. So just let's see the current picks. You guys can pause. I'm just going to go through all the position. You can pause if you want to see again. Just really quickly. Alright, so you guys saw the picks. So I'll send to the draft and I'll catch you guys right when I'm ready. Alright, so we are here at the draft, and I slightly looked at what's available, and there's really nothing except one thing, which is going to be interesting drafting someone like that early, but you guys are going to see. Alright, so we're here picking at 4, okay? And you look at the draft class, there's no one except one guy going at 6, okay? Ruslan Jekimovs. He's a franchise goalie, so we're definitely going to pick him up. Comparison Carey Price. So it's going to be fun. As the Nordiques, you know, we get our Carey Price, kind of like what Montreal had for a while. It's gonna be fun. And now Montreal's going to have Dobesh and Fowler, so there's going to be good, like, Fowler against this guy kind of rivalry. So I feel like that's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see if he falls to us. If not, I mean, Yeah, I mean, it's not that he's gonna fall, but hopefully no one reaches for him. So there's a couple of things we're gonna look at right now. I'm gonna go position by position, see who I wanted to trade. So the plan is going to have Soderblom as the starter most likely, Maryland as the backup, Hill the BHL starter, or I mean it's probably gonna be Ekimov, but we'll see. If I see that there's an upgrade to be made on Soderblom, I might do it. We'll see, but for now we're gonna keep. Defensively, D'Angelo we keep, Hellison we keep. Vassal is gone, Wallander is gone, Villainen is gone. So we'll start with so let's just start in order. Let's start with Vassal. I just want future picks, honestly. A third and a fourth from Chicago, a second from Dallas, which I feel is a little unrealistic. I don't want to fleece the system. A third and a fourth is more like what I was aiming for anyways. So if we could send him out west, it would be fun. 2/3 by St. Louis. I don't see the fit really, so I'm not gonna do it. Utah, no way. I'm just trying to be realistic. Like, no way these teams would pay that much for a guy that they wouldn't even need, you know. Third and the fourth. The Kings definitely make sense. So Vassal is going to the Kings for a third and the fourth. Wallander. This is where I would do it. Chicago for a third and the fourth. Villain can go anywhere that needs something. Boston, the third and the fourth. He's more of a future guy, so I think that makes sense. D'Angelo, Ellison, Andre, and Lundqvist, Enola, Sabrango, Decimon. Decimon, I probably can't get shit for him. What if I package him with Enola? Can I get something? I'll just throw him in a deal with Enola no matter what. Enola for a second. Definitely more realistic because he's at 80 overall, so let's see. At least a team that needs him, you know, we'll be realistic here. Second, the Panthers don't really need it. Minnesota, their left side is stacked. Montreal, no way. Tampa, no. Utah, no. Vegas, do they really need him? Let's just see real quick. Let's see defensively. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting someone, you know. Theodore, Anifin, McNabb, Anderson, Lozon. We already have Korczak. Not really, no. And there's no injuries, so it don't really make sense. Are there any other teams that are just interested in him, you know? Just let's see real quick. A team that would be interested in him that I didn't necessarily get an offer for, but you know. I'll try to find someone and I'll get back to you guys when I do. For a Carolina second round pick next year. Trade is rejected. I'm willing to throw in a pick real quick. Just trying like we have Ottawa's fourth, we have Boston, Quebec, LA, probably LA. This a fourth might be a little more. Maybe I just have to throw in like a fifth or something. I could throw a 6 and a 7 this year. Actually, trade is accepted. Perfect. Let's just see if we have other guys to move real quick before we have to make our picks. We know on defense we're good. On the right wing, so I know I'm keeping Holt, I'm keeping Wiesblatt, I'm keeping Mayshar, Triniev, I'm keeping Sikora. With that value, I'm probably going to flip him for something. Maybe a third round pick or something if I can. I'm going to stack up on picks, I don't care. And then those picks I can trade for stuff, or I can trade up in drafts with. Definitely a second is a little unrealistic, I would say. Maybe more like a third. Or third and a fourth, maybe, you know. Definitely not Anaheim. Columbus, no. I feel like LA usually gets depth issues pretty quickly. They seem very interested in him. I'll just take I'll take a second, but I'll give you guys a fourth. I'll give you guys your fourth back. I'll be realistic, you know. It's more like the value of a third in that case, you know. Okay. I know you guys probably think I could get more and shit, but I'm just trying to be realistic, really. Alright, left wing. Drouin, we're keeping Kuzmenko. Fabry is gone. I know that for sure. At third, he's a solid depth player. I mean, definitely not maybe a third, but gotta choose the team wisely, you know. Solid pick by Chicago. We're gonna go over all the other picks as well after, but I'm just trying to do due diligence. Honestly, these guys are not gonna go for much. I'll just trade them myself, and I'll show you guys the recap of all the trades I made afterwards. It's gonna be easier this way. I'm just gonna show you guys really quickly. So I ended up trading Robbie Fabry to Vegas for a 3rd round pick. Parker Kelly back to Colorado for a 4th. Then Elmer Soderblom to Nashville for a 4th round pick as well. So that's going to be very solid. So here for this pick, I'm not even going to think twice. I'm going to be pretty easy pick. So with the 4th overall pick, the Quebec Nordiques are proud to select from the KHL, Ruslan Jekimov's goaltender. Ooh, because he's a 73 medium franchise. Number 31, just like Price. 18. Puck playing frequency is 97. That's insane. What the hell? Only 75 poise. That's a little low. He's definitely more of a project-ish. He's not a project, but I don't know if he's going to be very performing in the playoffs up until that poise gets up, because that poise is actually very low. So I think that was a good pick. So I'll just do the other picks manually, and I'll show you guys if I get something good, but I don't think so, because this first draft is usually weak. So I'll see you guys right back in a sec. We're here in the resign stage. At the draft, I really didn't get nothing after that, like medium 7 potential D and all that. So let's take a look at our expiring contracts. So we got Sabrango. Definitely want to keep him as an AHL piece. I don't mind paying him, gotta get to that cap floor anyway. So I'm gonna give him 1.1 for 2 years, which is what he wants. We'll just give it to him. Not even gonna overthink this. Goalie, no one expiring. And for a goalie, look, this is the guys I drafted. Weeman, they got a bunch of scrubs, literally. Hersbury is like the best out of them, but he's not really good either. So yeah, for a goalie, Jekimovs, I think I'm going to leave him in Russia for a year. Let Hildeby be the starter. I'll just sign a trash backup for the HL, and that's pretty much going to be it, I think. I don't want him to be behind Hildeby or anything, so he's going to get better reps in the KHL. So, I'll sim to free agency. I'm gonna sign a bunch of pieces for the AHL. I'm gonna give you guys a recap after that, and probably gonna be it for the video. Shouldn't be this episode's not gonna take too long, sadly. So yeah. Before I sign any free agents, I just wanted to make a small trade here. Saw that Montreal and Montembeau on the trade block. He's 82 at 28. He's on a 2-year deal. Hasn't worked in Montreal this year, so he kind of regressed. Fowler and Dobes are in front of him now because of that. So I'm going to be offering a Vegas 3rd round pick this year for him. So the trade is accepted. We believe the transaction will contribute to our success here in Montreal, so we are accepting your trade offer. Montembeau can be our starter here. Now we can have Merlinen as the backup. I'll be able to flip Soderblom somewhere. I can get a 6th round pick from Chicago, back to Chicago, a 5th from Ottawa. Who did they have as their backup to Hallmark now that I took Merlinen from them? Let me just take a quick look. I think that's an upgrade because I feel like Montembeau, I could potentially grow him back if he plays well for me. He's a Quebecer. He's been a starter before. Soderblom, I don't know. They have James Reimer. Yeah. Maybe Chicago could still use him. I picked him up from there. Yeah, definitely. We'll just take honestly, we'll take Calgary's 4th. I mean, is he worth a 4th? And he's 25. I would say I kind of don't want to pick this year though. I kind of want something 2027. They have a 4th from Vancouver. We'll take that. Trade is rejected. Too far off. Yeah, we'll just take a 6. I don't care, honestly. We'll take a 6 next year from Chicago. Trade is accepted. So we basically acquired Montembeau for like a 4th or a 5th maybe. So it's decent value. It's like a 4th. I don't mind. It's an upgrade. Alright, so I just signed all the guys I needed to. Made some trades to get some needs. To fill some needs, I should say. So let's start with the signings. So I signed Rousseau, Jet Hu, Jan Ruda, Pocket Bisson, Bartuzo, but I ended up trading Bartuzo because I made a mistake there. Costin, Atanasiu, Bemstrom, Kupari, Lauko, Kaut, Shaw, Holofson. Those are all for AHL needs. Dahan, Shillington, Simoneau, So those are the guys I signed. Then I made a couple trades. So I traded. We'll start with the first trade. So I traded away Bartuzo to New Jersey for Kalen Haddison. So I just filled a bigger AHL need, fit-wise, play style-wise, I should say. And New Jersey is getting Bartuzo, who they wanted. I traded a 2 medium 7D prospect for Derek Pouliot to Chicago. I traded a 4th and a 7th to the Vancouver Canucks for Derek Forbort. He's going to be playing on my first pair. And then I traded Des Simone away to Colorado for a 7th round pick. Then my last trade, I traded a 5th and a 6th this year to the Leafs for Calle Jarnkrok. So pretty much what I did. And seems like I'm kind of done for this episode. So I guess thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share the video to your friends. And I'll see you guys in episode 2. Peace out.